If I could have bread every day, all day, I think I'd be so happy. For the next bread I'm making, which is my grandmother's recipe of banana bread, which I've slightly altered to cut down on the sugar content because honestly, it's sweet. The bananas add so much sweetness all on their own, you really don't need that much sweetness. But pretty much everything else I'm going to keep the same. So let's start. We're going to start with our bananas, which I have about 3 bananas here. I actually put them in the fridge to keep them for this recipe, which is totally fine, even though the peel might turn black and the insides of the bananas might get a little brown, but they're really just fine. They don't smell bad. They smell like ripe bananas, which is perfect. We're gonna just dump that in there. And if you notice, I've got the paddle extension on here instead of the hook because this is actually a very, very wet bread. It doesn't really require that dough hook. We're not beating it in order to create, like get it thoroughly incorporated. If anything, it's more like a muffin. I'm gonna add my egg next. So in it goes. And next I'm going to give it the butter, which is about 1/4 of a cup of butter. I'm gonna add my sugar next, and you notice I'm not beating it up yet. It's fine just the way it is. So here I've got a 1/4 of a cup, and I'm gonna add 3 of these, so 3/4 of a cup in total. 1, 2. Now you can use brown sugar, and I have used brown sugar in the past, just added a little molasses. If I could tell you anything, it would be to stop buying brown sugar. If you just get yourself some blackstrap molasses and put a bunch of sugar in one of these and start mixing and, just add as much blackstrap molasses as you want, you've got brown sugar. That's basically it. You're paying people to make for you brown sugar and you can do it yourself. All right, at this point, I am going to start whipping to incorporate everything. What I'm looking to do here is to get that butter to be thoroughly incorporated. Now at this point, I'm going to go ahead and add the salt, which is 1/2 teaspoon, and the baking soda, which is a full teaspoon. This is going to be the baking soda is our agent that's going to help rise the bread. So I'm going to add 2 cups of flour. There's 1. Here comes 2. Start mixing slow. As you can see, this is a very wet dough, and it's going to stay kind of like a cake batter, but a very thick cake batter. You can use anything you want as far as like to make that non-stick thing. You can use butter. I'm going to use a canola oil spray. What's great about this recipe is you probably really can't screw it up unless you forget something really important like the salt. And a lot of people think, oh, you don't add salt to desserts. Salt adds so much to flavor. Remember that salt is more of a flavor enhancer. It's not really necessarily just for your savory dishes. It really can bring out the flavor of your desserts if you use it sparingly and you just allow it to bring that little bit of spark to your dish. It's kind of like if you added too much sugar to a savory dish, which a lot of people do add just a little bit of sugar to savory dishes, just to kind of bring out a different flavor or a different side of the palate. A lot of Chinese food has lots and lots of sugar in it. If you notice, I'm using the paddle to kind of scrape out the insides rather than going and grabbing a spatula or something else, because this is perfectly capable of getting almost all of it out. And if I really wanted to, I could just use a clean finger, but I'm not that worried about it. See, finger works really well. Plus, you know, if you're not too concerned about salmonella and you know where your eggs are from, you could just lick your finger. Now that is ready to bake. Oh, that looks so good. Get up there. Now I would be so proud. The banana bread is really a quick bread and it's a soft dough. But this is exactly what it should be like. It should be like a pound cake, just like a delicious pound cake. So I'm just gonna saw into it. And now that is exactly how it should look. It's dark and moist inside. There's a little bit of butter. Because the banana bread is fresh out of the oven, right now it's got kind of a crust to it, just a slight one. But that's going to go away in the next 24 hours. I'm gonna let it cool, and then I'm gonna wrap it up in either saran wrap or something else to just kind of keep it nice. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I've got banana bread, I've got regular bread, white bread. I'm in heaven. I wonder if you can put one on the, look at that. That's gonna be awesome, right there. Oh yeah. Right? That's awesome. I may eat this all the time, just like this.